What up, y'all? This is your boy Marqmaster back on a new reaction video. On this, we're gonna be doing a new reaction death battle of Tom the Cat versus Wile Coyote. Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is. This got uploaded a few days ago, so I'm looking forward to see how it is. And I always loved Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes during the past years, so I'm gonna see how this is. So hope you jump in on me seeing this reaction. So let's see how this is.
Fight!
What the heck?
Wile Coyote, the fastest and furriestest of the Looney Tunes.
Tomcat, the
Acme.
powerhouse pussycat from Tom and Jerry.
The fans voted for it and we're here to deliver.
He's Riz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Hey, babe. I can tell this guy is so goofy.
In tales told over a shimmering campfire by the tribes people of North America, there was no figure so cunning, so bold as Coyote. To the Miwok, he was a Prometheus who stole fire from the heavens to give to humanity. To the Sewetmuk, he was a foolish trickster who could die and return to life.
And to the brothers Warner, he's just a poor dumb schmuck who can't catch a break.
To this day, the great Coyote stalks the American Southwest, hunting his
And I love the Looney
indefatigable
Tunes
prey,
show, guys.
the
I highly
Roadrunner.
recommend watch it
And
if you
this
guys never
modern
watched Looney
Wile
Tunes.
Coyote
It's still a
is
funny
driven
show.
by a ruthless
I still watch it.
entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and it drove him straight off a cliff. He'll chase that bird-shaped happily ever after to his own inevitable undoing. Such is the lot of the common man.
You might not expect it from an anthropomorphic canine Job, but Wile was born the son of world-famous hunter Cage E. Coyote. His father raised him from infancy to hound his avian adversary and forbade him to speak until he tasted victory. On the face, an easy task. Coyotes are incredibly adaptable predators, capable of hunting in both rural and urban environments.
They're also speedy little demons. They can sprint at up to 43 miles per hour. Though that's cold comfort when that blue meeping bastard can make beams of light look stone still or outrun a car that was moving fast enough to travel through time.
Frankly, it's incredible that Wile manages to consistently keep up with his prey at all. But
Well.
he does.
No, really, it's actually
Yeah,
stated
no
that
luck.
only a, quote,
Oh,
tiny
yeah,
little
Bugs.
extra burst of speed separates the Coyote and the Roadrunner. Heck, Bugs Bunny himself needed to take super speed supplements in order to move fast enough to outrun Wile.
But
That's what I don't
almost as
understand
fast
right there.
isn't fast enough. Fortunately, Wile's got an endless assortment of gadgets, gizmos, and reams of blueprints to make up the difference.
He's got your classics like dynamite, anvils, and spring-loaded boxing gloves, along with heavier artillery like heat-seeking missiles, a 10 billion volt electromagnet, and a friggin' trebuchet.
The reason why you have all that
Favorite,
because
many of
because
which
the
he
Acme
invented
company.
himself and uses
It's so
in
ridiculous.
excruciatingly detailed schemes that
Yeah,
inevitably
like
go
all that
wrong.
arsenal from the
Despite
Acme
being a
company.
self-described super genius,
Got dynamite
Wile
and
has
everything.
an officially measured IQ of 3.
That's the same IQ as a cactus.
Okay,
Wow.
okay, the test results were fake, but he's still an idiot.
So why
He's
not let
still
a
an idiot.
soulless corporation do the hard work for him?
Acme sells
Acme.
any product that you can imagine, and Wile is their most devoted customer, contributing up to 99% of its multi-billion-dollar revenue.
Thanks for the inherited wealth, Pops. Oh, don't worry, I'm spending it all in one place.
He's got an Acme Book of Magic, Acme Clone-O-Matic, Acme Death Ray, Acme City in a Box, Acme Universal
You got
Remote,
everything from
which can
Acme,
pause,
my
fast forward,
gosh.
and rewind a person through time.
Too bad half the stuff Wile uses is intentionally sabotaged because Acme's board of directors is exclusively Roadrunners. My man cannot catch a break, but he sure can take some punishment.
No matter the severity of his failures, Wile is still a tune and can bounce back from just about anything.
He's been sliced, stabbed, squashed, exploded, melted, blasted into a constellation, and overall verbed for the last 87 years straight.
Well, he's a
Never
Looney
actually
Tunes,
dying.
so he can't
once
really
got
get
fully
killed by
disintegrated
anything
into
like
ash
that.
and popped back
He always
up like
get
it was
hurt all the
nothing.
time,
Similar
and he
to
never
the
dies.
immortal Coyote of Sewetmuk legend.
He's also shattered the fourth wall tons of times and even left the comic page entirely barely to catch the Roadrunner. Yeah, so close.
Believe it or not, there is actually a biological reason for these abilities. Loony DNA.
Loony DNA.
Not just the loony ones. And it's what lets them survive fatal damage up to being fully erased off the page, essentially dictating their personal sense of
Roger
reality
Rabbit.
to whatever
I
is
still love the
funny.
movie, guys. I highly recommend watching that if you guys never watched Roger Rabbit.
Toons are immune to the laws of physics as we know them.
That's why Wile developed a counter to this immortality, the Loony DNA Dissolver, which leaves Toons vulnerable to fatal wounds the same way we are. Yet again, so close. You can't say he hasn't tried everything.
It was Wile's experience as a veteran Toon that landed him a job at Acme University as department chair of the School of Hard Knocks.
I never thought about
Teaching
watching
tiny
that
Toons
Toon
how to use
University. I
their
never thought about
abilities.
watching that
Okay,
show.
so Naruto.
And just like Naruto's jutsus, Toon Force works like an actual power system, with more experienced Toons like Wile who are more powerful than their younger counterparts.
And that means Wile should be capable of replicating feats and abilities performed by any other Looney Tune, like traveling between different mediums or altering the plot of the cartoon he's in.
And my favorite was the time Plucky Duck used Marvin the Martian's matter transmogrifier to suck up the entire universe.
And
Boy.
then suck up the animator animating his universe.
And
Oh my
then
gosh.
suck up the animator's universe for good measure.
Wiley's got a cushy 10-year job teaching that stuff. Impressive for an abject failure at his life mission. He's helped stop a meteor from destroying Earth, beat the Monstars in basketball.
I get that.
Whoa, snap!
I get that part. The
Caught
Monstars on
Roadrunner!
Space Jam.
Oh, wait, never
I get
mind.
that.
So damn close.
According to 1977's Tweety and Sylvester issue 67, Wile E. Coyote has attempted to catch the Roadrunner 4,766,842 times.
How did you
Failing
even
to the present,
calculate
that's
that?
Over 10 million failures.
10 million
Dedication,
failures. Go
or
figure.
Maybe self-destructive
He
stubbornness.
sucked.
Too blinded
He
by
can never get the
purpose
road
to
run
see
for
the forest
nothing.
for the trees.
Not in
But
any
these
episode.
intentional malfunctions and
He
Coyote's
can't do
recklessness
squat.
don't account for all of his catastrophes. There's something else, something grander, otherworldly, standing in the way of our furry friend's salvation.
Wiz, there's no other way to say it. God is just plain out to get this guy.
And
Go
by
figure.
God, we mean the closest thing that exists for Coyote and Roadrunner. Chuck Jones.
Chuck
The
Jones.
guy that
Yep.
created him and helped forge the Looney Tunes into
Right.
how we know him today.
I always seen his
Originally meant
name
to be a
on every
parody
time
of
on every
earlier Chase
episode.
cartoons like, well, Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Jones established several rules for their animated shorts that superseded Coyote's reality warping toon abilities.
Rules that cover his obsession, faulty products, and the fact that no outside force, not even the Roadrunner, is to blame for his defeat. Just him.
While other creatives have altered this formula in the decades since Jones's departure, these rules have effectively made the Coyote's defeats cosmically ordained.
God nerfed Wile E. Coyote. In all our
Nerf.
years making Death Battle, we have never seen a handicap like that.
But what else can you expect from our fanatical furry fail son? He's the Sultan of Slapstick, the CEO of Second Place, the swing and a miss superstar.
Swing
As long
and
as
a
he
miss.
pulls himself back up and dusts off the ashes, that'll never be all, folks, for Wile E. Coyote.
And here are Wiley.
The year
Wile E.
was
always fumbles.
1939. War raged in Europe between the British Tommies and the German Jerrys.
Are you
As the
serious?
beleaguered English made their miraculous escape from the German encirclement off the coast of Dunkirk, one might have called the battle a game of cat and mouse.
Game
Oh,
of
wow,
cat
is
and
that
mouse.
actually where their names come from? I'm looking this up.
Regardless of their names' origin, William Hanna and Joseph Barbera's infamous cat and mouse duo became the undisputed kings of slapstick comedy.
The formula is simple, and we all know it. Tomcat chases Jerry Mouse around the house. Brutal, bone-shaking, I felt that in my balls. Violence ensues,
Boy.
and Tom is reprimanded by Mammy Two Shoes.
I still love Tom and Jerry, guys. I highly
let's say
recommend watching
very
that
much
show.
from the
It's still a good
1940s.
time.
And if you're like me,
Always
all you
watched it
wanted
when I
to
was
see
young.
Tom
I still
wipe
love
that
watching
smug
them.
smirk off that little rat's face. Despite my well-documented hatred of cats, even I've got to cringe at years of propaganda to convince us to side
I still
with
love
the
the times
filthy,
with Tom. He
flea-ridden
always,
rodent
he
over
always,
man's second best
he always
friend.
has the
Oh,
bad.
big yard.
House cats like
He
Tom
get-
are
he has it
actually
so
some of Earth's
bad.
most successful predators. They can run up to 30 miles per hour, leap 6 feet high, and despite being commonly perceived as nocturnal, they're actually crepuscular and hunt in the dawn and evening.
Tom specifically is a British shorthair. They're strong, stocky Roman cats bred to withstand harsh conditions. And for Tom, harsh conditions is an understatement.
Tom has collected a crazy assortment of weapons in his war against mouse kind. Sure, most of it is the stuff you can find around the average American household, like baseball bats, lead pipes.
It makes me want to watch Tom and Jerry again, because I honestly haven't watched Tom and Jerry in a long
Guns,
time.
But he's got wackier things.
I
like
last
a
watched a
magic wand,
movie
a
with,
RoboCat,
you know, it was still a
vanishing
live
dream,
action.
and a
I really
smart
loved that
cat
film. It
gives
was
him
so
all
funny.
the knowledge in the world.
I'm partial to the Sword of Light and Dark, which severs you from your own shadow, or the Rewind Remote, which can move your victim backwards through time.
And you can't forget the cat car and cat jet.
Oh,
Spelled
right,
with
in that
Ks, of
movie, yeah.
course, but just
Yeah,
the cat
Tom
part.
and Jerry
Tom's
Blast Off.
arsenal is heavily improvisational, which fits his quick thinking in fights over Thanksgiving turkey. Though he often loses his bouts with Jerry, it's not usually because he's dumb or incompetent. Rather, he's just genuinely outplayed.
And even in
Mostly
defeat,
he's dumb.
one tough son of a gun. He's been crushed, blown up, had every bone in his body broken,
Dang.
shattered, melted, and vaporized to dust.
Yeah, he have it more bad than
Mostly.
Wile,
Tom
man.
actually
He
has
have it
kicked
more
the bucket
bad.
multiple times, but little known cat fact, he has 9 lives.
Yeah,
As
it's
established
literally
in the episode
9
Captain
lives.
Oh, Wiz was conducting some different kind of research when he stumbled on that episode.
Very funny. Even if Tom starts to use his lives up, he has a potion that just restores them.
Or he can physically go get them back from hell. Where all
Right,
cats
right.
go.
Extremely hardcore for a toon, but there isn't much of a limit to what Tom can do. He can clone himself, levitate in the air, make his imagination real, and even break the fourth wall and enter the real world.
I don't understand that. How you can break the
Classic
fourth
cartoons
wall,
from the
man?
40s, you may
It's
be
so-
in for a shock. Tom and Jerry gets buck wild, much like the actual inspirations for their names. Thank you, Google.
Oh, you're still on this?
Dodoy Whiz. They were actually named after the two characters in Pierce Egan's delightful life in London, Jerry Hawthorne and Corinthian Tom. It was adapted to the stage with the title Tom and Jerry, which later became a catch-all term in 1800s England for young, drunken rabble-rousers.
One could, in fact, say that many rabbles were roused the times Tom destroyed a planet-busting asteroid, lifted up the sun, and was blown up into a constellation. And he was just
Yeah, most of those
fine.
times are
Just
still
a bunch
ridiculous.
of stars now, but he's okay.
He taked an explosion that launched him through time to the Stone Age and has run through space at massively faster than light speeds.
That shouldn't be a surprise when he and Jerry have been at each other's throats for over 80 years now. But what may
Go
surprise
figure.
you is the fact
80
that at
years.
the end of the day, they're actually friends.
And they've worked together tons of times to save the day. Like
Yeah,
when they
it's
helped
when
the
they
little
screw up
orphan girl,
something.
Robin Starling, find her way home. Oh, that's a nice end to their story.
Don't you believe it?
Yeah.
Now is when we have to talk about Tom and Jerry Chase.
Tom and Jerry Chase?
Long ago, the warrior god, Lord of Sichuan, Erlong Shen, battled the tricksy and indomitable Mouse King atop Peach Mountain, leading the goddess Celeste to declare the two the strongest warriors in the realm. And they were, in fact, Tom and Jerry. They were even
Go
stronger
figure.
than Devil Tom, who repelled corruption by the darkness. This mysterious, malevolent force threatened to consume the Tree of Life, whose branches encompass all of time and space.
What?
Banding together, these
The heck?
warriors use the star element to dispel the darkness and save the universe.
This for real now?
The fuck?
While it may sound completely insane, it is. Chase
Yeah,
is a
it
Chinese
is.
mobile gacha game whose lore is not entirely in keeping with the spirit of the source material. However, it is officially licensed by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, which means we have to include it in our research.
So that the
That is
gods
so
may
crazy.
grant us mere mortals some heavenly push.
No!
Friendly rivalry aside, though, Tom has actually managed to catch the little rat fair and square a few times.
By my count of the original shorts, 19 times.
I could watch him on repeat forever. Too bad he's still a filthy feline. The only kitty I truly respect is named after booze.
Well, you're in luck, because the Tom and Jerry of English literature later became the namesake for a famous Christmas cocktail.
Because there's no better way to get absolutely trashed than with good old Tom and Jerry.
This is gonna be quite a bit of death battle, though.
Guess what? Death Battle has merch now.
That's right, Boomstick, and you can pick some up for yourself on our brand new website, deathbattle.gg.
I have a feeling it might end up in a draw, like with Scooby and Courage that I watched in a death battle,
I
guys.
promise it's not a death note. See, it says so right on the cover.
Sure. There's also exclusive merch.
It might probably end in a draw. It would make a lot of sense, you know, because they both can't really die by anything. So, you know, because they're both like cartoons, so cartoons don't really die like that. So it'll make a lot of sense.
If you want it, go grab it quick.
We'll be releasing more stuff throughout the year, so check back for updates. Picking up an item or two really helps support independent Death Battle, so we want to say a big thank you to everybody that's already placed an order.
Head over to deathbattle.gg and pick the piece of Death Battle swag that's right for you.
Swag. Alright, guys.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a Death Battle!
Time for a death battle. Jerry. Yeah, Tom. Hell, Tom. Roadrunner. And Wile. Coyote. I don't know how this is gonna be a death battle here. I don't understand how this will be a death battle. I don't understand. You cost me the dinner. Boy. Boy. He blew himself up. What the heck?
Come on, you apes! You wanna live forever!
What? Why, he turned invisible? The heck? Oh, what in the blazes, dude? They both blew each other up. Acme! Bring on the air. Air delivery. Wow. Wow. 9 lives. Oh, high speed taunt. What is this now? Oh, I still remember this part where he, yeah, wait. Yeah, that's a fake wall. Boy. I created a truck. What the heck? They jumped out into the YouTube world. What the heck? Should've saw that going. Wow. Look at TNA. What in the world? Is that a house? Jeez. Wow. I guess that was his last life. So I guess Coyote won that.
Wile E. Coyote, super genius.
That's all, folks. Okay, okay. Okay, that's pretty funny though.
I mean,
Son lost all his lives out of getting blown up.
Considering coyotes eat cats,
That makes a lot of
I'm
sense.
not surprised.
While both Cat and Coyote were incredibly powerful, they weren't literal gods who could snap their problems away.
Go
they
figure.
had limitations and weaknesses that could be exploited, especially.
All right, yeah, he got smoothed by that plane.
Both were strong enough to contend with universe-threatening
That's what screwed him over, though. He
compared
lost
to
like
Wile
8 of his
Lucky
lives,
Duck.
and he had
Looney
one last
Tunes
life,
can
and he got
not
killed
only
by
destroy
that
their own
house.
universe, but
That's
their
so
animators
ridiculous.
as well.
And while Tom could move
He got-
faster
he
than
got
light,
cheated
Wile
out on
could
that
keep
one.
up with the Roadrunner, who could outspeed a car fast enough to travel through time. That's immeasurably fast, and much faster than Tom. Wile gets the edge in stats.
Wile's arsenal was a bit better too, believe it or not.
Yeah, of course,
Even
he is
eliminating
smart,
the
though.
devices that have been shown to malfunction, he still countered everything Tom had.
The biggest being the Looney DNA Dissolver, which could
Yeah.
render Tom's cartoony healing factor moot and end the fight.
While Tom has never been shown to have loony DNA specifically,
Not
the
really.
concept clearly has nothing to do with actual DNA molecules.
Looney Tunes have been erased completely and still returned, so it's clearly something more fundamental to their essence.
And
It
since
makes
the
sense.
Dissolver
It
works
makes
on
sense.
any tunes, not just the loony ones, it should apply to Tom. But considering how much of a screw-up Wile is, it wasn't a sure bet. Hell, it could have backfired, especially considering how much more competent Tom is.
When it came to intelligence, Wile's
Yeah.
engineering and scheming genius were often defeated by his own ego and stubbornness.
Yeah, but he
Tom,
is
on
still
the other
smart,
hand,
though.
Was consistently more flexible, pragmatic,
Yeah, more
and
smart than Tom.
victorious in his fights. He definitely gets the edge there.
Oh, and Tom has one other big advantage. He doesn't have God nerfing him.
And that's the big question. Was Tom capable enough to benefit from Wile's narrative-enforced bad luck and see the DNA Dissolver backfire against him?
That
Yeah.
bad luck is a core part of Wile's character as a cartoon. So let's call it his, toonliness.
To find
Toonliness.
the answer, we dug deep through the bowels of Looney Tunes lore and ended up in an unexpected place. Space Jam.
Where Wile
Welcome
yet
to
again
the Space
fails against
Jam.
the Roadrunner, but against the villains of the movie, the Monstars, he actually scores.
And scores
Yeah, he was
again in
quite the
sequel,
go-to
more
of
than
the Toon
anyone
Squad,
else. But
so it
according
makes
to
a lot
Chuck
of sense
Jones's
for why he
rules,
did one
That
that.
shouldn't happen, right?
Throughout his entire history, Wile's cosmically ordained failures only occur when he's specifically chasing the Roadrunner, or
Yeah.
other tunes the plot bends around like bugs, because that's what Chuck Jones's rules were written for, Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons.
And even then, looking closely, they've been broken a few times throughout the decades, even during Chuck Jones's tenure.
Without the universe nerfing him, there's no reason to think Wile couldn't eventually land a hit with the Looney DNA Dissolver.
Especially when the only reason it failed was because of the Roadrunner's intervention, a direct violation of Chuck Jones's limitations on the Coyote.
And especially when it's the only thing that either one had that could kill the other.
Despite lacking Wile's narrative impediments, and despite having a better track record overall, Tom ultimately had no surefire way to kill Wile, whereas
Yeah.
Wile's superior strength, speed, and looting arsenal ensured
Yeah.
his victory.
Wile gave one hell of a chase and left
Yeah, he
Tom
triumphed
Jones
by
in
the-
for a rematch.
The winner is Wile Coyote.
It does make a lot of
Next
sense.
time on Death Battle.
Oh, Spider-Man? Wait, Midori?
Subscribe and join.
Oh,
to see
let's
more
go
Death
now.
Battle. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that, guys. That's gonna be pretty much dope. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward for that. Okay, guys. That'll be it for this reaction of Wile versus Tom and the cat. Not Jerry in it, but he was in it. But it was mostly about Tom and Wile fighting. But it was pretty goofy. I really enjoyed that one. It was pretty funny though. Like it makes a lot of sense that Coyote won that because he's very smarter than Tom. So it makes a lot of legit sense. So I feel bad for Tom. He, when he got cheated out, when he lost like all his lives, and he got killed when he had one last life left by that house. It did screw him over, but I didn't get that as a good fair fight. That was a good fair fight. I almost expected it as a draw on that, but I guess it had to go like that because Coyote, like I said, he's very intelligent, like they explained, and plus he had the Toon DNA, so it makes a lot of sense. So let me know in the comments below what you think. You think Tom could have had a better comeback against Coyote? I'd like to know your thoughts around that. And stay tuned for any more reactions in the future. I'm gonna be looking forward for Spider-Man vs. Deku. I'm gonna be obviously doing a reaction on that. So stay tuned on that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned on the next one. That'll be Spider-Man vs. Deku. Later.